Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. Welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. Just like always, we are going to talk about money, finance, budget in 2026. What are your financial goals? Let me know if there's anything that you want me to look into regarding Trump's big, beautiful bill that might be changing the way you invest or the way you save. I know um, a couple things on today's live. Number one, I want to share with you why I'm switching to a HDHP for my health insurance. That stands for High Deductible Health Plan, right? An HDHP. And then I'm going to also um, be participating in an HSA, a health savings account. I can tell you how that's different than an FSA if you want. I do still need to do the calls, but basically mid last year, it all kind of, good morning, Richard. It kind of all clicked for me. So I read an article that said most people would be better off investing in a having a high deductible health plan, including people that needed major health work. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but even people who had like major health insurance needs could still do it. Our hierarchy. Happy New Year. Good to see you in here. So basically, and I was like, well, if I'm spending $3,000 on health care, how is this doing me any benefit? But where hi Dante. So I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. I don't make a lot of traditional videos anymore. Once again, we're going to put that on the vision board. Okay, so the three things I want to talk about today are the high deductible health plan. I want to look at my budget because I think I recently shared with you guys that my budget is higher than it's been in a while. And I want to look at places that I can trim. I think the first of the year is a good time to like assess your subscriptions. So, for example, I need to look at this. Well, let's look at this together. Um, I open up my credit card statements almost every day, right? To see what charges are on there, to make sure that, honestly, to like make sure that there's no fraudulent activity. I just got a fraud alert on one of my cards. They didn't actually put anything. Yeah, my budget's out of whack as well, right? Um, I was very fortunate. I got a raise this year, and I think the end of last year, after I had transferred to the new location where I'm at, um, they gave me a little bump in pay. So they call it lifestyle creep, right? I haven't and my mom moved in, and she pays me rent. So that has all increased my income, and they call it lifestyle creep. I didn't adjust a lot of my savings or my investing or any of that, and I probably should have, and I think things have just creeped a little out of control. So I need to look at that and I need to rein it back in. I know a lot of it is because I'm gonna be doing more travel, and that's something that I wanna do. So I've been in saver mode since I was 21, old enough to put it in my 401k, right? I've always done the company match. Um, I did some things that they wouldn't recommend with your 401k, like I took out a loan against my 401k in order to put the down payment on my house. I don't regret that not one bit. I think that was a good decision for me, but they don't recommend taking it out for any purpose. Although that is one of the purposes that you're allowed to take it out for without getting the tax penalty when you're purchasing your first home. But I actually didn't do it that way, but I digress. Anyway, um I've been in saver mode and now I want to spend. I want a little bit. I want to be generous with my money. I want to I want to donate more money. I'm in a position, it happened this morning actually, and I'm really torn about it, so maybe you guys can let me know about this in the comments. I'm in a position where for my close friends, if they need money, I'm able to loan it to them. And there's part of me where that feels very, very, very good, and I'm happy to do it. And there's another part of me that while I'm able to give the money and I'm so privileged and just fortunate to be in a spot that I can do that. And I'm in a spot where I'm fortunate that my friend feels comfortable enough coming to me and asking to borrow money. Where I struggle with giving freely is, Rocky will do your question next. Where I struggle with really truly giving freely is I know that my friend hasn't made good financial choices. Or it's not necessarily that. They're not choices that I would make. Like they had an affordable car payment and they got a new car. When they got the car, they were like, "This isn't the car I wanted." Um, somebody kind of pressured them to get that car, but they pressured them to get a car that wasn't their first choice because it was a better financial decision. So then, my friend, they told me that they got a new car, and I wanna be a good friend, and I wanna be it's tricky, right? Because they tell you don't be negative, right? Don't be negative, don't be a wet blanket, just be excited for your friends. So, I wanna be excited that my friend got the car that she wants, right? But it's really hard for me knowing that that put her in a tighter financial position, and now she's she's asked if she could borrow money. My mom also taught me, she said, if she's yeah, like, uh, I'm very, fortunate that I was able to lend her the money, right? And really, my mom taught me only lend money if you can afford not to get it back, right? So I'm so, 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 so fortunate. Um, because the truth of the matter is I know her money's tight. I don't I think she'll prioritize trying to pay me back, but at what cost? Like, I wouldn't want her to put more on credit cards. I wouldn't want her to, like, change her payment. Like, like, I might not get that money back, and I'm not gonna ruin a friendship over it. I was a significant it wasn't a small amount of money. It wasn't, like, a crazy large amount of money either. Um, so I said yes, um, because 'cause they're one of my best friends. But I don't loan any money and I don't co-sign anything. Yeah. And I used to there's part of me that still feels that way, but there's like a certain group of people in my life that this person falls into where I'm gonna try and have their back no matter what. There's probably 3 of my friends that I feel like that about. Um I used to okay, so I don't like to lend it out either, especially right? I shouldn't say the especially part, right? Especially to somebody where I know that they've not made that some of their choices have led them there, right? Um, but who hasn't needed help in a while? And I'm so fortunate to be in a position where I'm able to help my friend that I'm really excited to be able to do that, right? And that part's genuine, right? I wish but you can't change people, but I do wish that some of her financial decisions she would have done differently, but we're not the same person, right? My choices are not her choices, and I have my other best friend, right, that rents my garage, they don't wanna hear it at all. They don't wanna hear any financial advice, so they're like, "Oh, I'm really glad that you found YouTube because you can talk with other people who actually care about this kinda stuff." Um, and I wanna s s it just it's that scenario where, "Oh, I don't have $1,000 saved for an emergency." I would love for each of you to never have to ask your friends for a loan, right? If it could be avoided. Um, my good faith in them will return rather. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I really am, this is a person. Okay, well, uh-oh, speed dial, let me look, okay. Rocky says, "I have a question. I'm working and this year they said hours are going to be reduced due to the holiday rush is over. I'm part-time from 38 hours to now 8 hours a week. Can I collect unemployment?" Yes, there is a section, where when your hours have been reduced that greatly that you should qualify for benefits. So definitely, let me pin this message. Yes, you would be eligible to apply because your hours have been greatly reduced after the holidays. Um, with that said, I hope that you're able to find something more stable. Man, everybody's going through it right now, right? And it's rough. It's really rough. Richard says no good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, and I mean, this person, right, whether they can pay me back or not, I don't even know if I'll ask them to pay me back, right? They've offered, they're like, "Oh, I'll pay you $100 out of every paycheck," right? Um, but okay, yes, you're thankful they're keeping you, but still the hours in the new schedule are scary, so you're still looking. How's the job market in California? So it's so interesting because not great is going to be the answer that I'm going to give you. So a lot of minimum wage jobs are not hiring. They're trying to do more with less people and from what I've seen. And then like the higher level positions, they're just not opening up. Companies are not making as much money, so they're again trying to do more with less. Um and it's really competitive. It's hard to get your foot in the door, but on the flip side of that, it's also hard to find the right person that's gonna stick around for the job that isn't just taking the job, uh, to be, like, a temporary solution, and they secretly have, like, one foot out the door. That's just speaking from, like, people that I know going through the job hunt right now. Um so yeah, it's rough, and a lot of people looking for a second job, right? Um, and again, I'm super fortunate, but where I work, we have a lot of, like, corporate level people that when the whole, like, writers' strike happened, came on board at the movie theater, and they're very valuable because of all their, like, experience in the field, and truth be told, they're overqualified, but I never wanted to be that boss that's like, "Oh, you're too qualified, like, to work here." No, like, if you're willing to work here, come on down. Cindy says, "I keep hearing on the main news channels that California is going broke and everyone is leaving. Do you see that?" Yes, I 100% see that. I'm gonna pin your comment now. So, and you guys know that one of the big finance YouTubers that I watch is Graham Stephan. He used to be based in California, and right around the pandemic, right when I joined his mentorship, which he's since dissolved, but when I joined his mentorship, he, moved to Las Vegas. California, we have very high state tax, okay? That's thing number 1, with 15% state tax. So, we pay our federal taxes, and then we pay 15% state tax. So that's really high right there. And then I'm only speaking with Graham Stephan because obviously, like, I'm here. Um, but I see, and I'll tell you some other stories in a second. So, Graham Stephan had property here, and he recently, like, he sold it all. Las Vegas isn't far, so it wouldn't be hard to, like, maintain the property, but he's just so frustrated with California and the property tax and the rent control. I also wanted to make a rebuttal video for him, like, maybe I'll do that today. I probably won't, so, um, but he was it's really popular here. You guys have heard me say that, like, my friend rents my garage for work from home. So it's so overcrowded here, that it's really common for people to build ADUs, accessory dwelling units. The new year, more videos. Okay, maybe. I need to get on it, dude. I'm really, like, missing the boat on that. But anyway, I love my Sunday lives with you guys at 11 AM. But anyway, so accessory dwelling units, or they call them granny pods or this kind of thing, or just people utilizing space in their backyard basically for more housing or work from home or that kind of thing. Graham Stephan tried to do that, and there were so many, like, permits and requirements, and he said that like, he's got a video about it, right? I haven't heard this from him personally, but, I mean, he shared it publicly online. That the permit process was so frustrating and long that, um, he basically he sold the house. He got out from under his whole last house here in California because of all the, like, red tape trying to add more housing, and it made it not a good investment, which is frustrating, um, and here's just a story for myself. God, how long ago was it? It was before I got my washer and dryer in my kitchen, so that would have been I had the washer dryer when my mom moved in, so that would have been all of 2025, and I think we must have put it in 2024, maybe even 2023. But first, right, and you can get permitted work, you can get unpermitted work, right? I was like, "I'm gonna do this right, this is, like, my electrical system." I wanted to upgrade my electrical system because I still was thinking that I wanted a Tesla, right? And a lot of times, like, if you plugged in a heater and you were using the blow dryer in the bathroom, it would pop the breaker. So I upped my, electrical panel, and I pulled the permit for it. When you pull the permit, they're supposed to do an inspection to make sure that the work is done right afterward. Do you think I've had that inspection yet? Do you think the city has come and signed off on the work? No. And for a while, I kept pinging the electrician. Let's see. Let me see if I can inspection search. Let's see here. It's going to be from a unsaved number. It's about a health inspection. Okay, 514. I'm just trying to see. Okay, so in May 2023 is when I had the electrical work done. He accepts check, blah, 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 blah. And to fix the plugs, he came to fix the plugs because those were weird and even I noticed. And then May 14th, 2024. So this like the and they still haven't come to do the inspection. All right, everybody's saying more videos in 2026. We're gonna actually try. There's no try, only do. Let me get my little green guy back there. Um, Thank you all for watching also, and please like the video. So, okay. So one, there's a lot of red tape. Our taxes are really high, and I don't know how else to say this. It's dirty, right? Um, and by dirty, maybe that's not nice to say dirty. We have a very bad homeless problem here in California. I'm talking, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. Hello, Nemo, Los Angeles. Um, so my mom has mobility issues, right? She is now either walking around the block with her walker or she is in her electric wheelchair. Actually, like even without the homeless, right? Our streets are so bad and like trees grow like roots growing up out of the sidewalk that's like splitting the sidewalk. that makes it hard for her to ride the wheelchair. So then that means that she needs to ride her electric wheelchair in the middle of the road, which isn't safe. But also sometimes there's straight up like a homeless person like sleeping sideways. The sidewalks are narrow, so if somebody's sleeping, like their toes near the curb and their head near somebody's lawn, she also can't get around that. And like I don't know what the answer is to that, right? Because some of the people, they don't wanna move. They're happy laying on the sidewalk like that. And I believe in free will, right? But sometimes the beliefs, they can crash, right? They don't always, like, coincide. Rocky says, "Plus many people homeless and mental problems walking the streets unwell. It's sad and it's scary." Rocky's saying that he wishes that he could leave the state. Um so there's a lot of things like that, and so, yeah, and then California's going broke because people like shoot, I have a work text, so I gotta check that really quick, you guys. Um, hey, what is this? I don't know what he's showing me. Oh, no. What's wrong? I don't know what he's trying to show me. Something dusty? Something's definitely dusty. Uh, okay. Anyway, um so there's lots of homeless people. Tell them you're streaming. The thing is, like, if there's something really, really wrong, I have to fix it, guys. Um, so uh-oh, didn't reboots not a right breaker isn't on. Uh, um, all right. Hang on one second. Sorry, guys. Also try wiggling. One of the breakers isn't coming on. Hmm. Okay. Um, all right. So sorry about that. So the homeless is a big problem, right? And one that I don't have a solution for. Part of me, right, if I'm being honest, part of me wants somebody to like pick them up and make them go somewhere so that my mom can like ride her wheelchair around the street. But part of me knows that that's not the right thing to do either. I don't know why certain people gravitate to certain areas. I don't know why certain people don't want to get help. um, there's that child actor that they recently discovered in Riverside. I'm not familiar with, like, his work, but, like, they were trying to get him help and he wasn't ready. Like, so some people, they just wanna stay, and I don't think it's right to force someone to go somewhere that they don't wanna go, like, so or to hold them against their will. Like, even if you are like, "Hey, you gotta move on, you gotta move to this place," where do they drop them off at? Like, even if there was a facility to hold all the homeless people, what if they don't wanna be there? What if and I'm genuinely asking because I don't know the right thing, right? And I think that that's why I don't, like, envy the politicians because 'cause they're trying to figure it out, but, like, what is the answer? Like, I don't know if you just hold people without their consent, right? That seems really terrible. Also, like, my mom struggled with mental health. I can see a scenario where maybe my mom could be taken away under the premise of help and then get stuck and not get out even when she's ready. Like, those places, like, they don't even when they exist, they don't have good reputations. Um, why do people in the state keep voting in the same type of people causing and allowing the problems? I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's okay to get them out. You pay the bills and don't have any option not to. But then, like, then the taxpayers are also gonna be paying the bills for putting them somewhere, and we just don't have the facilities right now. The other thing is there's been a lot of money approved for, um, like, building affordable housing, building places for the homeless to go, like, facilities and things. but neighborhoods keep blocking it, right? Everybody's like, "No, I don't want that next to my house." So that's a struggle. Then another struggle, you guys, is parking. So Graham Stephan was saying in his video that there's that he thinks it's good that there's not parking requirements when you're doing like new construction. But here's the thing, like most people, if even in a one bedroom, a lot of times there's 2 or possibly even 3, maybe even 4 adults in a one bedroom house. And so in a one bedroom, so most of the time it's not a single person, right? What were they even calling it? There was like a phrase for people that are just kind of like, it was like a word like situationship, but it was a financial situationship where they were just sharing an apartment so that the rent would be lower. So let's say you have a one bedroom and let's say you're coupled up, right? So let's say you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, so you're sharing the one room, then it's not necessarily uncommon to have somebody living in your living room. And actually, when I first moved, um, out of my mom's house and into my own apartment, I slept in my friend's living room. We sectioned it off. We got like a dowel and we hung a curtain off the dowel and we hung that kind of, it was probably where the dining room would have been. But we sectioned off just like my bed. And I had like a dresser in the living room. Like it's not uncommon for someone to be sleeping in the living room or possibly another couple to be sleeping in the living room and to have 4 people in a one-bedroom apartment. Then, how many cars do those 4 people have, right? LA still, our public transportation is getting better, but it's still a really car-heavy town. So then you've got 4 people in a one-bedroom with 4 cars, and they're not requiring any parking spots be built because they're trying to increase affordable housing. Well, what they're doing in my neighborhood where I bought my house is they're they're taking single story houses, like 100%. If I sold my house, they would just demolish it and they would build like a 2 or 3 unit apartment, but going up. But there's not even room for parking spots on my lot, so then there's no parking spots for the 3 new units, and keep in mind those 3 new units could actually be hosting 12 people with cars. And so what is happening is people are parking in the red, they're parking in other people's driveways, and here's the problem with parking in the red. That's not just for, like, funsies, right? The red zone is red. Think about how I live on a really narrow street, and this is why I was thinking about making the rebuttal video for Graham Stephan about the parking in Los Angeles. The red is designed so that, like, a big fire truck can have clearance to go around that corner. When my mom was still living in the trailer park, right, the trailer park kind of had like it's set up like you go in one side and it's like trailers 1 through 30, and then you go around like a, like a turn, and then it's like trailers 30 through 60 on the other side. So you come up one side, you turn, and you come back down the other side. Well, they had kind of like the parking spots were set to end at one spot, but the property manager was letting people kind of park beyond that, and there was a fire, and the fire truck couldn't make the turn. Hi, Debbie. Oh, we could do movies maybe. Happy New Year, happy 2026. Um, Nemo, Los Angeles. By the way, welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you in here before. It says things have dramatically changed for the worse in the last 15 years. Yeah, I kind of agree. Um, so um like parking is bad. And sometimes so people will just park in the red and they'll say, "Oh, I'll get the ticket." And they're getting the tickets, but it literally like that means that if my house caught fire, there's a very good chance that the fire truck would not be able to actually turn the corner. So there's homeless, there's building restrictions, there's high taxes. Then there's a lot of people that have moved here that are having trouble finding work. So I know somebody who relocated here, they're not able to get the hours that they want, similar to Rocky. Like, they have 2 jobs, both jobs are cutting hours, and their parents are starting to ask them if they're gonna be moving home soon. And they don't really want to, but they might actually have to. All right, Debbie, let's look at the movies. 1 second. Also, you guys, I gotta go over my budget. I'd like to look at last year's goals. I would like to set some goals for this year. Really, I just wanna be positive. I wanna read more. I've got this is the book I'm reading right now, Life is Messy. It's really short, but I've been stuck at, like, the same few pages. I erased my whiteboard so that we could do my budget, figure out where all my money's going. So yeah. All right, but let's look at movies first. I think most of you guys know that my regular job is I manage a movie theater. And Debbie enjoys movies. Debbie, what movie are you looking forward to the most that's coming up? Ba, 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 ba. If they started deportations, would that help the housing situations? Are they leaving because of limited jobs? So I don't think deportations would help at all. There's a lot of jobs still, like, in California, nannies, gardeners, landscaping, and it's not even just jobs like that, but, like, there's just a lot of people. I don't think that would help. I actually think that and the housing situation, like, that's not gonna help the parking necessarily. Um, it's also not gonna help the homeless because, like, honestly, a lot of people that are undocumented that are working in California, they're contributing more than they're taking. They're taking jobs under the table, which is saving businesses money. Um, it's a whole like that's a whole thing. I don't think that would help at all. I really think that like the people that are unhoused, I'm not sure that they're in a place where they could really have housing. Okay, let's look at movies for okay. So I think this is the same as last weekend. So we have Avatar: Fire and Ash is the number 1 movie. Whenever I add something, it seems like that's when I start to lag. Then Zootopia 2 is the number 2 movie. The Housemates, the number 3 movie. Marty Supreme is the number 4 movie, and Anaconda is the number 5 movie. But let's look at the full top 10. David is the oh, sorry, I skipped the SpongeBob movie is number 6. David's number 7. Song Sung Blue is number 8. Wicked for Good is number 9. And then Five Nights at Freddy's is number 10. Then we've got Hamnet. I need to Google something else. When are the Golden Globes? They're January 11th? I'm not ready for all that. Okay. All right, let me see here. Okay, let me read your comments. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. So, Debbie, have you seen any of those movies? Okay, so Debbie, did you see the movie Parasite? Because it was like a foreign language film. I want to say it was Korean. I'm gonna take another sip of coffee. That means you guys please like the video. Okay. Um, There's a movie called No Other Choice that looks really good. It kinda looks similar to Parasite, and I think it's got, like, the guys from the Squid Games in it. But it looks so good. Parasite was so good. And it wasn't, like, about a parasite, it was about, like, a parasitic family, like, if you have, like, a family that's just kind of taking advantage of you. It was I really like Parasite. If you try and watch that if you can, and then let me know. Um, but then it's a foreign language film called No Other Choice, and it looked really good. Okay. Rocky says, "What's a good job search site besides Indeed?" I'm gonna change my job search advice. I think Indeed so LinkedIn, here's what I would do, right? This is honestly the advice now. This is gonna be similar advice to how it was during the pandemic, but a little bit different, right? Because during the pandemic, it was super easy to find a job, and now it's getting tricky. I would go to LinkedIn, right? Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date. Add everybody that you ever know. Treat it like it's Facebook. If they're an acquaintance, add them. If it's a company that you wanna work for, figure out who, like, the HR representatives are, add them. Reach out to the companies that you're interested in. Um, try yeah. Sorry, I was reading a work text. So try to reach out to the companies that you're interested in. So, this hypothetical example, I'm not hiring, but let's say that you really wanted to work for my channel. You'd reach out to me on LinkedIn. You'd say, "Hey, Shelly, like I noticed that you're not active on LinkedIn, or you're not as active on your channel as you used to be. Are you hiring? I know how to edit. I know how to film videos. I know how to do this." You're just kind of reaching out to the people that can get you where you need to go, and yeah, ask yes, yeah, exactly, Nemo, exactly. It's gonna be your connections, honestly, that get you in the door right now, that get your foot in the door, really, that put in the good word for you, right? I think that there's a lot of noise in the applications, and Indeed has old job postings or ghost jobs. Yeah, no, LinkedIn's free. Don't do the paid version. Don't do the paid version. Or if you do the paid version, there is a premium version of LinkedIn. But um just do the 30-day free trial on that. They have some courses, you can get some certificates like that while you're doing the free trial, but remember to cancel the free trial. That might bring me full circle to something that I was gonna say earlier, which was, that I was checking my subscriptions and I noticed that my Audible subscription renewed, and I don't think I read 10 books last year. So, hold on one second. Profile. Shoot, yeah, I think I lost my credits. Did I lose my credits or did I end up spending all my credits? So, hmm, either way, my phone is dirty. I only have 12 credits, which is what all you get for the year. I don't know if I spent all my credits for last year, so I need to cancel my Audible subscription, which hit, so I need to audit that. Anyway, the old postings and stuff. Just so anyway, my point in looking at Audible that I need to cancel is make sure that you set a reminder on your phone or however you set your reminders to cancel any paid subscription to LinkedIn. But their free version is fine. You should be able to see people that you can reach out to, that you can message, um, that kind of thing. Also, like maybe companies' customer service departments. Something that we used as an example before, I think, was like Lamborghini, or like, so let's say you really, really, really love cars. Um, I know we've got a couple people, they drive a Lexus or they drive an Infinity. So maybe you want to work at Lexus or Infinity. Maybe you just want to schedule like the appointments. Although I'm going to say, talk about AI replacing jobs with people, right? This is what's not scary to me, but like scary to me is that when I last called to get my car repaired, it was like an AI scheduling system. But yeah, reach out to people or companies directly that you wanna work. So things that I like Apple, right? I like Apple products. I guess I like Aura. I like the Aura ring. Um, I like Red Bull, right? The energy drinks. I like coffee. I like travel, so like airlines, airports. Um, I don't think I would be a flight attendant. I'm a little bit too wide for the aisles, but, um, anything that you like, reach out to those people. Also, like, I'm gonna say too, try and do like a meetup, like whatever your interests are. Maybe it's, I don't know, running, maybe it's writing, maybe it's like I might join like a conversational Japanese group, right? People that are trying to learn Japanese. Maybe I'll go to a meetup for that. And I'd be trying to learn Japanese because that's where I'm traveling in December of this year. So, and I wanna know some phrases. Um, but the more people that you know, the more people that you have to ask, the more people that you can say, "Hey, I'm looking for work," and trying to find, like, the right opportunity, is gonna go a little bit further than, it's just gonna be better. It's gonna get your foot in the door. One of my assistants that got hired, we really needed somebody that knew projection, right? I'm really great with actual film, like 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter. If it's shot on film, I can do it. I'm not as good with the digital projection. Just I'll get there. It's just I haven't had as much experience with it. So, um, sorry, got so I don't have as much experience with digital projection. So somebody kept calling and they mentioned that they had projection experience, and I asked them a few questions and they said yes. And then they mentioned that they had worked for this advertising firm called Allied, and I also know some people who had worked at Allied, and I was like, "Oh, do you know so and so?" And he's like, "No, because I worked for them in Florida." But guess what? Now that person's my assistant. Okay. Let's see here. How much does LinkedIn should be free. Some of those old postings or ghost jobs, like, and also it's just so easy to auto apply. So like employers are literally within 30 minutes of putting up a posting getting like over 100 applicants to an entry level position. Cindy says, I live in Indiana, but I'm retired. Around where I live, it may be easy to find a job. How much do the jobs pay? Oh, that's the other thing is that like they'll be like, "We want 9,000,000 years of experience, and we're gonna pay you $20 an hour." And don't forget, fast food now pays $20 an hour here in the state of California. Oh, what's on your sweater? I see bats. Okay. So I spent some money, you guys. This is, I shouldn't have done this. It's called the Hatbox Ghost, and it's one of these things that does that. It was $24 on clearance. I did not need this. It was a Christmas gift to me. So, yeah, it's one of those things that has, like, the shimmery thing. I don't even know how I'm supposed to wash this, but yeah. So it's kind of like it's from, Haunted Mansion, $24, which is not bad for a sweater. I'm trying to justify it. That means I shouldn't have bought it. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of like a Halloweeny sweater. Okay. Nemo says sound advice. I was thinking the same thing. Think your interest in what does pay more or what does pay more in the future. Yeah, that's something else. Like, what's the opportunity for growth, right? A lot of jobs, it's slow to get promoted, but some jobs it's really, really fast. So get in an entry level position. Also, I'm still going to say government jobs. If you can get like the EDD, the unemployment office. I actually, when I now this is gonna be interesting because I just said that I don't support anybody getting deported, and I still don't. But when I went to go get my passport, they were like, "We're now hiring, like, border control people," but it was in the passport office job place, so that might be cool, like, helping people get their passports, like, that's not like you would need to look out for, if people are supplying false documents. Debbie likes this sweater. Yeah. I'm a big Disney nerd, you guys. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be renewing my Disneyland pass this year. Um, I went a lot last year, but I don't know if I'm going to renew it this year. Partially because I do think when I go to Japan, I think I will try and go to Disneyland there. They have different rides than we have, so I think that that's something I wanna do. My list of things that I wanna do in Japan is getting pretty long, and I'm not gonna be able to do them all. Also, you guys know that I got a lot into credit card points and hacking, like, not hacking, but, like, getting sign-up bonuses, really trying to maximize the value of my credit card points. I did get my flight home, but I wanted to fly home on, like, the 19th or the 20th and fly backwards overnight But then, that would have put me in a high peak season, so I transferred 53,000 points, which was it only cost 52,500, but you can only transfer in 1,000 point increments. I did get my flight home on points in business class, so it feels like I spent no money on that ticket. The Disneyland pass is not honored worldwide. That would be so cool, but no, it's not. Yeah, I know what you meant, Debbie. It's not, so I'm gonna have to spend extra money when I go to Tokyo. Yeah, and the sweater was only, it was $24, which I feel like is a really, really good price. So it was, like, on clearance. I got it I got it on Black Friday, and it's fun, but I'm gonna have to be careful when I wash it. Yeah, I like it. I feel like the color is good also. It's nice and warm. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh, what else is happening? Sorry, my assistant's texting me again. Uh-oh. Okay. He's fine. Not the one that knows projection that we hired because he was persistent. So some of it's timing too. Like right now, somebody came in to like see if we were hiring the other day. And we're not hiring right now, but that can change so quickly. Somebody can get their dream job and then they put in their notice. And really, if they get their dream job, sometimes they're like, sorry, I gotta peace out instantly. Um, oh shoot, you guys hang on one second. What is he saying? Kitchen and tickets. Uh-oh, did somebody call out? No. Shifts hang on, somebody called out sick. No. Oh, no. Yeah, we had 2 people call out sick today. Oh, no. Alright, well, I hope they're okay. Yes, I'm going to Tokyo, and I'm super, super, super excited. I don't ever Nemo Los Angeles, we're on the same page here. Never carry a balance on your cards. Shelly's Millions. I am officially on paper in net worth a millionaire. In my bank account, you guys, I got $100. I might have a little bit more. But remember, I just was able to loan my friend money. I got $104 in my bank account. And we just got paid this past Friday. So I'm a net worth millionaire who lives paycheck to paycheck. That's a video I need to make as well. You'll pick up the shift. I know, man. Um, we would have to train people. So this is perfect example, right? Somebody came in my last shift and they were like, "Are you hiring?" And I was like, "No, I'm not hiring." But then we have 2 call outs and it's hard to find coverage. And I'm like, maybe we are hiring. Like maybe it's nice to have that cushion." But here's the other struggle that like we're having is that it seems like no matter how many people that we hire as cushion for when people call out, by the time people call out and we're looking for coverage, like, it's hard to find coverage, like, the same day, but people don't, like, they don't plan on getting sick, so I don't know what the deal is there either. Okay. Um, yeah, I got a bunch of work calls today already. I've got, like, 8 texts. Okay. Um, Richard says, "I care more about job security than I do about hourly pay." And that's an interesting statement too, and, again, I've been very fortunate because I've had job security. It's official this year. I've been saying this for a long time, but I was hired in November of 1996 where I'm working. I left really briefly for, like, 4 months, and I worked at another company. Grass was not greener on the other side. I came back, but this November will mark my 30th year with this company. So I'm super fortunate. So I do feel like I have job security, and I'm so, so, so fortunate about that. But most jobs are not able to offer that anymore. But I was going down the line of like government jobs. So passport agency seems like a cool job. Um, like, how fun to be able to help people travel, right? Um, Also, the passport office lady, like, the front desk girl that was checking everybody in, she was not messing around. She was like, their waiting room is small. She was like, "Mm-mm, you guys gotta line up in the hallway." Like, you're not allowed to bring kids with you to the appointment. Like, she was not messing around about that. So, like, you gotta be kinda strict and on it. Like, make sure that they're following the rules for the passport office so that it doesn't get, like, too chaotic inside the lobby and the waiting room. Um, but yeah. Um, so that seems like a fun job. Maybe parking enforcement, maybe giving people the tickets that are parked in the red here in California, working at the EDD, um, community outreach. I don't know, there's, like, a lot of jobs that would be cool that, like, hopefully would offer security. Cindy says, "I haven't been able to seen a movie, not sure when you have a husband and 2 needy dogs." Debbie says, "Those jobs are few and far between." They they are, but, like, I mean, like, literally when I went to the passport office, they were like, "Now hiring." And certainly, like, during the pandemic, they were hiring people. That would have been a good time to get in. Um, and just because something's few and far between, right, doesn't mean that you shouldn't put yourself out there and, like, if that's something that you wanna do, to pursue it, right? Um See, what about working on, like, a cruise ship? Like, I would be so good at, like, checking people in with their luggage on an airline. What else is, like, recession proof? If you're strong or you have a trade skill. Oh, yep. This is me and Nemo. We're totally on the same page. Get a skill that can always pay you. There will always be a job. Companies and people will be looking to hire you. Okay, so some of these jobs are gonna be, like, air conditioning repair people, right? Maintenance, um, construction, handyman, right? Like, if you carpet cleaning, and you could even start, like, a carpet cleaning business, right? So carpet cleaning, electrician, carpentry, handyman, all of those kinds of things. Okay, and then Debbie says, but yeah, the trade, plumbers, right? If you can do any kind of plumbing work, electrical work, air conditioning work, plumber, nurse. Nurses' jobs seem really difficult, and the schooling, like, so the trades, right? Total respect to nurses, and they do always need them, but you do need to go through, like, a nursing program. It's my understanding, at least, that you can't just offer that, that you can't do that as entry level. So that might be a little tricky there. But yeah, plumbers, nurses, though you would need to do the school to do the nursing path, um, handyman, maintenance. Another job that I don't even exactly know what they do, but, like, property managers, that seems fun because, like, I like real estate, I like looking at houses, I like keeping them up to date, so I think that would be fun. Skill-based job where the trades requiring, right, the trades, so mentorship, though, so schooling or mentorship. Um, a lot of times, like a plumber, you can be an apprentice plumber, like, you can go and, like, help somebody do that job, and they'll train you in that skill. But then there's also, like, if you are a homeowner, you're supposed to get, like, a licensed electrician or a licensed plumber. Um, so I would a mechanic. Where's Joel to be like, "Hey, a mechanic." If you know any of those things, you're so golden, like, seriously. Garbage man, I've heard that they make really good money. Like, and seriously, no shade, property management is tough to find, and on-sites have cut back. Everything's cutting back, which is not great. You guys, can we go through my budget really quick? I only have, like, 8 minutes. Budget, or oh, that's a picture, or last year's. Let's look at last year's. I gotta hang this up. I need to clean my room today. Debbie, I know, I know. Debbie, are those Beanie Babies just absolute trash? Do they just go to the, not trash, but donate? Okay. Ugh. Wait a minute. Does this say 2024? Did I? Oh my God. I think it does. I don't think I ever updated this for 2025. Well, let's look at. That definitely says 2024. Well, they're probably pretty much the same. So we'll we'll go through this. Yeah, because we had X's. Oh my God. All right, let's go through this. Lose 20 pounds. We actually did that. So this is the 2024 goals somehow. I didn't paint my doors and I don't have a cabin. In Japan, though, you guys talk about manifesting. There's a cabin that looks like this. Also, for my trip to Japan, I definitely want to soak in like the Japanese hot springs, like an onsen, but I have tattoos, so I'm not welcome at all of them. Anyway, okay. Use self-unless. There's no way I did that. Okay. Play violin. We didn't do that at all. Ugh. Change living room furniture. Oh my God. This is where we did that. So that was crossed off from last year. Paint patio furniture. I did that, but it kind of needs done again. Make at least 4 YouTube videos. I did not do that. Learn new skill for work. I didn't do that either. And like you guys might be like, well, what kind of skills are you talking about? Like marketing. Like I might want to take like a marketing certificate. I really think marketing's a cool job. Social media, you guys. Social media. I can't believe I didn't say that right away. Okay. Learn new skill for work. Oh, accounting. Yeah. I love money, so I would love like accounting. Uh, oh, also it's about to be tax season. And some of those places say that you don't need any experience to be a tax person. I'm making that face because like I don't know how that's possible, but that's what they say. Bad economy has affected all aspects of jobs, personal, hire, and life. Yes. And Nemo, I love Nemo. I hope you join more often because I'm really loving your comments. The key to anything is to be excellent at what you do. Yeah. And like I've had my job for 30 years, you guys. They're not, knock on wood. I mean, they if they downsize, my job could be on the top chopping block because I'm one since I've been with the company so long, I am one of the higher paid employees. So of course my job could be on the chopping block, but I don't really think they're gonna fire me. So, so that means like, hey, you know, I don't have to learn accounting. I don't have to learn marketing, but that helps me. It also like if something does help my job, because if you look at the fate of movie theaters in the news, even Leonardo DiCaprio is like, "Hey, I'm not so sure." I just read an article yesterday that said Leonardo DiCaprio is like questioning the longevity of movie theaters. So if movie theaters can't survive, like I want a plan B. I want to keep bettering myself and to strive for that excellence. And that's something that I think is really missing right now in the job market. I think a lot of people have become complacent. Richard says HVAC techs make good money. Yes, they do. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. All right, Cindy's got some dogs to feed. I love it. Okay. Travel somewhere new. I did that. I went to Ireland last year. Maybe the Northern Lights. I didn't see that. Okay. Take mom to half siblings. I didn't do that. She's not sure. It's like sometimes she seems like she wants to travel, then other times not so much. Read at least 10 books. I don't think I did that in 2025. I did it in 2024. Attend a conference. I didn't do that. Invest in self. I did that. Vacation home or investment property. We didn't do that. Take golf or tennis or pickleball lessons. I didn't do that. Contribute the federal maximum to my 401k. I didn't do that. Lower my blood pressure. I kind of did that and spend more time with mom. She lives with me. So I think that one counts. Okay. But those were the 2024 goals. I mean, they're all already pretty similar. Do a do a up. Do a up. Do it up. I don't know what we're saying here. Um but yeah, I mean, always, always, always do the best job you can. That's what I was taught. Okay, let's do some 2026 goals. Nope. Why is this pen not working? It was working okay earlier. 2026. All right. I want to lose 30 more pounds. Lose 30 pounds. Travel internationally. We know we're gonna do that because we're going to Japan. That's booked. That's okay to put things that you know you're gonna get done on there. Post actual videos. On YouTube. I'm gonna write get promoted. I think I'm getting promoted, but we're gonna manifest it. Get promoted officially. Officially. What else do I want to do? I want to donate more money. I want to what else do I want to do? What on those old goals? I don't know. Pay off house, but that should happen automatically at the end of the year. And the only way that wouldn't happen is if I somehow like, WU in Pasadena? Okay. Steve, learn a second language. Okay. Cindy says, when I retired, I had to cook low sodium meals, which means from scratch. I had to watch a lot of cooking videos for ideas. Steve says, learn a second language to get a job using it. It pays more money. That is also true. Like if you're fluent in here in California, Spanish, I would like to take Japanese classes. Take Japanese. Maybe take another class. Let's put in parentheses. We'll still put accounting or editing. I want to get better at editing videos. I do. I want to get faster. I want to get more comfortable with that. Maybe I'd like to take a cooking class while I'm in Japan. Nah, I don't want to do that. Like I said, my Japan trip is already filling up with more things. How about this? Exercise regularly. And I think we're going to leave it at that. Exercise regularly. So we put some things that like are going to automatically happen, like travel internationally. I already have the trip to Japan done, so that should be post actual videos on YouTube, get promoted. That should be in the works. Donate more money. Should do that right now. Pay off house. That should already happen automatically. So there's two of these things. And then the lose 30 pounds, that should, we're going to put a 1/2 by that. You guys, I'm taking the GLP-1s to help me lose weight. And I don't regret it. I made that face. I don't know why. I'm happy about it. So I should be able to lose 30 pounds pretty easily. And the promotion really should just be an announcement away. And then I can share it with you guys. They better do it. All right. All right, you guys, we're past our hour. Let me see. So my it's really more of just like a title change. And I don't want to say too much more about it because I don't want to seem like ungrateful or anything, but like it would really just be like an official title change that would come with a pay increase. So really the same job, but a different title and a little bit more money. But we'll take any more money we can get, especially in this economy, right? All right, let's see here. No, but there's outlets in Pasadena, both the email up and down the front door with a note attached. Good karma. Yeah. So just like kind of like a title change. Also, I don't think learning Japanese would help me if I ever needed a job. Oh my God. But let me show you one thing, right? This is how my mind works. And I'm already, like I said, I'm already overbooked for my Japan trip. I don't know. I just learned about something called, it's probably still up on my Google search. I just looked about something called Nope, like, it's not coming. The Zhao Fox Village. Look at this picture. Fox Village in Japan. Do I need to see foxes? I might need to see foxes. Okay, that was not what I was gonna show you, though. What was I gonna show you? Oh, I know what I was gonna show you. This is how my mind works. Where is it? Japanese for travelers. Where is it? Okay, well, I'm not seeing it, but basically there's like a seminar. Oh, here it is. Space business events, right? I have this bookmarked. The future of space business comes to Tokyo, Japan. I like space, you guys. So Nihon Bashi Space Week 2026 brings together exhibitions, conferences, and networking, connecting industry, government, academia, and startups from Japan and around the world. And it's Space Week is November 30th to December 4th, 2026 in Tokyo, Japan. So I screenshotted that because I might want to look into the space business while I'm traveling. Do I do business while I travel? I think maybe I do. Okay, Debbie says Japanese is hard. That's what I've heard. Do you guys know that I have and let's see if we can see it. I don't know here. I have a Japanese tattoo. You guys see this? I don't know what I'm showing you right now. My friends call that my Christmas tree. But that's a Japanese. Also, is this Japanese artwork? I liked Japan a lot for a while. This is I don't know why all this stuff is just sitting right next to me, but it is. This fell off the wall and I haven't put it back on. That's why that's there. All right. Well, anyway. But it might be good to at least learn some phrases in Japan since I'm going in Japanese since I'm going to Japan. All right, you guys. Maybe next week we'll do the budget. Have a very, very, very happy new year. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. See you next Sunday at 11 a.m. They have they have otter cafes, they have owl cafes, which, like, you guys know, when I went to Ireland, I saw an owl. We held owls. So, like, maybe that's gonna be my thing. Maybe I need to go to an owl. Maybe I need to hold an owl in every country I go to. They're so cute. I wanna see the snow monkeys bathing in an onsen. Nemo, it was nice talking with you. Yeah, join us next Sunday. But yeah, they have an otter cafe and they have a capybara cafe also. And then they have Fox Village. All right, you guys, that's it for now. All year to talk about the trip to Japan. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.